Hey guys, this is Julie. This is looking at a 30-minute chart of ES, focusing really on Tuesday. But we're going to start with the weekly view and then look at the monthly and quarterly and see what has been happening in this market, leading us into the end of the month. And then we'll look at some options also through Quick Strike. So really, last week was an up week going into the end of the month. So the dips were bought. This was a daily three at a daily one. So I'm mixing a lot of distributions together. So what we can do with Jats PT is lay any distribution and any period out that we would like. This is a 14 period daily one. And so you can see that daily three on the close really came into play. If you change the session to an open and click apply, you can see that level change to the bottom of the range. So it makes a difference, the calcs, on whether you're calculating from the open or the close, and whether you're running those calcs on a 30-minute bar open and close of the daily session or a daily bar. So this is using a 30-minute bar open and close for the session. So your calcs can move around a little bit just depending upon how you display them. It's that customizable. You're in control how you would like to display it. So also you have to keep into consideration the number of days that you apply to a distribution. You need more than 30 days. So I would recommend for a daily 150, and then for a weekly, so then you can see the bars now extend across the distributions. Um, so you have to add more days to get days behind that you'd like to, be able to see how the distribution worked out. So at least 154 daily for a, and you can see that the price has been respecting those threes. So the weekly range has been responding well to these ones. We got a little dip below the 7 day um, open and close one right here, and we came down to the 7 day, a fast 7 day two, and bounced on the dip, by the dip. That's what a dip looks like. And they bought it up, took it to the three, the orange lines, where it flatlined out. So the market maker and dealer will just sit on that level on both the bid and the ask at the same time when that effectively pins the market. So it takes the market, momentum to break it. So you have to break their pins, and we don't know what that number is because it's iceberg. So the market just sits on it, and eventually, if it crosses the pin of the bid and the ask sitting at that level, it'll pop it. And so you can see that this pop was a pop and drop right away because you had a 7 day one blocking it. So they had a second pin sitting at 51.48.75. Didn't even let them touch 51.50. So will this portray, coming back down for Sunday night, Monday, Tuesday? I don't think so. Number one, the portfolio managers don't like giving up gains going into the end of the month for their portfolios. With that said, a lot of them already are delta neutral. And so we're inside the monthly distribution pretty well. It doesn't look like it here. You can see that we're below the 30-day one that has been holding it at 51.30 on the monthly, and below the monthly 52.26. These levels are going to be very important going forward. And you can see here that we're at the monthly one, 30-day one below it, and then a faster monthly one on top, 5180. That's that key level that coincides with some options analytics. So we'll take a look at those levels. And when I look at it combined, you can see that 5140 is holding resistance, 5094 holding first support, and 5000 second support. 5180 on top, the orange line. 5272 if it really, explodes up, but that's sort of going to be rare. Here you can see the 8-day one. We're just sitting on the line. It's more or less controlled by that 5130 mean. And here is some fast threes, pink and orange. Pink are really fast. Orange are your 14 period threes, but using that term structure 7, 14, 21, 28, and 30. And this sort of hopefully will help you see visually that you're right in the middle of these oranges, the 5280 and the 5067, 5042. So right sort of in the middle of that. So we have room to be, oscillating, I think, above 5122 to 5180, maybe going into the last 2 days of the year. We will see. Let's take a look at the pricing sheet. So this is for EWJ4. Expires Tuesday, 2.2 DTE, something like that. Right, this is showing 3.86. Let me make sure I've got it on the right. EWJ4. Yep. And my calcs are run Black Scholes on settlement. So if we come back down, we'll see that we're at 5130 right in the middle, the mean. So we're right in the middle of the contract. And 5181 is my upper strike. And if you look here, the 1-2 standard deviation line is sitting right there, giving it more credibility for resistance. The in the money, out of the money line also is at 5185 to 5190. So I would expect to see a lot of resistance at 5185, 5190, if not at 5180, all three of these. So we'll look at that in quick strike a couple of different ways. First, I can look at the current volatility for that contract. You can see 5131 is right in the middle, and 5175, 80, 85 is that low strike. So that is very good resistance, very strong resistance for the market makers. And I'd expect to see gamma lines around that. And yeah, here's your high call 5170. So we might see some activity going towards this 5170 area by Tuesday. Wednesday, first of the month, is that ISM report, and that is a huge report for the beginning of the month. Can set the tone directionally for the entire month. It is often revised in the future. It is a Bureau of Labor Statistics report, meaning the PhDs love to be managing all those benchmarks and seasonality and exclusions and retractions and errata sheet changes. So first report though is a popper if it's a big change one way or the other, and it's been going in negative territory. So any positive expansion growth is what they need for that, to combat that inflation. So I think it would be very positive for the market. So positive growth is what we really want to see. And as Miss Yellen said, this last week, she thinks the reports can be done better to show the inflation more accurately. And I think she had the ISM manufacturing in mind. Maybe. We'll see. So expect that to happen. So these upper edges, if you get past the mean, you get past the at the monies here at 51.55, at the money to in the money. Anything above 51.55 is in the money, and they don't want to go out of the money because that would mean that they have to move risk at the very end of their quarter, I mean month, and they don't like to do that. They don't like to wait to the last day to have to move risk out. That's almost never going to happen. So, but you can see the theta burn going down. So you lose theta. So we go from 2674 on the mean down to the 5185, the last one on the board, 1041, before it goes to negative theta. So, that theta reduction favors a positive carry as well. For the upside, um, for theta, you can see that you go right into higher numbers right away. 2658 and 2601. So that's not as likely. 2.5, 2.405. The theta declines going into the contract. So this theta is sort of rising right here. And so that is another reason not to expect lower prices. Um, 2286 would be the high theta. So if it does back up, if you do get that retracement, they're probably trying to tag that 5100 put at the high theta. But for all intents and purposes, they don't have to back it up because at 2286 they can get that going down. And then once they get that level, then they can just sell it off going to zero to the last one. The last one right here at 5185. And 5185 matches, of course, the 5181.3. So that is my plan going into Monday, is looking really for an upward trajectory, possibly to 5180, 5222 at the very outset, but we'll see what happens. I want to really emphasize that quarterly. 5181 is our last quarterly one, so they don't want to move risk. If they've already moved risk down, they're not going to want to move it out again going into a couple of days before the end of the month. Not going to happen, in my humble opinion. Plus, you've got your 5226 monthly one sitting there. So, um, just a little bit of an excursion, not too much. If we do come back down, then we could, certainly get down there quickly, but I just don't see the impetus for that with the theta. Theta declines, does not advance going into the month, and that is up, not down. So we'll see. We'll see if my analysis works with the charts. As always, make sure that you keep your eye like on a 30-minute. If you have that range expansion opportunity going down, this is what you'll see, is you'll see the 30-minute bar staying outside that distribution, and that can propel the range down. Otherwise, anything inside the distribution or below the daily one, this is a day, yeah, daily one, um, you would expect to see that upper range to get reached. Okay, that's about it. Hope this makes sense. Let me know if you have any questions. And again, Wednesday is training. I can go through these templates, give you anything you need, help you set up templates. There's been so many templates I have not, done this correctly by making folders so that I can get everybody what they, need from before. But I can certainly work with you to get you whatever you need currently and going forward. Okay, thank you.